The city could face fallout over a deadly tasing incident. The family of 30-year-old Xavier Hernandez says police used excessive force when he died after being tased on I-10 on Sunday. The incident has raised questions over police use of force in reference to a video shared on social media, a video East El Paso has not been permitted to use. One Instagram user writes, "You can clearly see he complies and puts his hands up, and then he gets tased. Where is the police training?" While others point to the fact that we simply don't have all the facts yet beyond public opinion, tonight the Hernandez family's attorney says police could have handled the situation differently.
My initial impression is that, I think El Paso police got it wrong. And in this situation, we have a young man who's apparently his heart hits there on the side of the road because he had been tased several times, not just once. And so I think that alone speaks to, the steps instead of what happened. I mean, this was an unarmed young man who clearly was going through some sort of mental health crisis or some sort of situation.
And there's attorney Gabriel Perez. He says Xavier Hernandez had a history of mental health issues, but isn't ruling out drug use either. The family is still considering their legal options. Police say Hernandez wasn't following commands before he was tased. Harrison Parker takes a closer look at what led up to the confrontation and how officers make those split-second decisions.
El Paso police say Xavier Hernandez was attempting to jump off I-10 East near Yarborough and became uncooperative with officers when they tried to restrain him around 10 a.m. on Sunday morning. Police say they tased Hernandez, but he remained combative as they tried to subdue him. Hernandez then became unresponsive, and that's when police say officers began CPR. He was then taken to the hospital where he later died. Part of the confrontation was caught on camera and has led to debates over the use of force.
I think most people don't recognize the difficulties of placing people under arrest. I think they take it for granted on a daily basis.
That's Alex Perez with the EPPD Training Academy speaking to us back in June of 2024. The department gave us access to its arrest training not long after a different case involving the death of an apprehended person.
The longer you take, the more chances for the subject to get hurt, the public to get hurt, and the officers to get hurt. Bottom line is that even going under a crisis, they are still a threat to themselves, the public, and the officer, and a lot of the same techniques do apply.
El Paso Police Public Information Officer Sergeant Robert Gomez then emphasized the importance of complying with an officer's request and the danger of resisting arrest. He also said the amount of force they use varies on the individual.
From minor leverage techniques, escorts, to full-blown people not wanting to comply where multiple officers are necessary to place them in cuffs.
And Harrison is joining us now. Now, the police's use of force is something we've been covering for a long time. This is stuff that you were using. But can you talk to us about what police told you today?
So El Paso police themselves can't comment on this particular case. That's why you guys are seeing a lot of footage from years past when they have been able to talk about their procedures. What we're really curious about is actually the Crisis Intervention Team, CIT. This is a program that they have been sort of lauding in recent years. The Sheriff's Department also has one. When someone has a mental health crisis or sort of either a drug-induced situation, this team is supposed to help intervene without resorting to violence. And I think the family and a lot of people you just saw online, including the attorney we also heard from, they want to know why that team wasn't deployed there. That's one of the major questions we were asking police today. And again, since it's an ongoing investigation, there's just a lot that we're waiting for right now, Vanya.
Yeah, and from my understanding, CIT kind of helps with de-escalation, correct?
That's right. Then they also often will have therapists or mental health specialists with them on scene, so even assist the officers who receive themselves even more training than the average officer.
Yeah, and I know that you actually had a chance to speak to the family's attorney. Can you talk to us a little bit more about the kind of insight he was giving you?
Yeah, so I think the biggest takeaway from our conversation is they're in a wait and see pattern right now. Obviously, this is a grieving family. They're heartbroken, but they also understand there's a lot of information they don't have yet. Now, we do know that the hospital told them, according to the attorney, that he passed away due to a heart attack from all of these tasings, which is obviously horrifying. But again, the family's waiting on whether or not they want to move forward with any sort of legal action. So again, wait and see for a lot of this right now.
Well, thank you so much for your reporting, Harrison. We
Thanks,
appreciate
Sonia.
it.
Appreciate it.